Lee Summit is your destination for big city vibes and small town charm.
Head to the downtown Lee Summit Farmers Market, where local meets fresh. Then grab a cup of coffee and discover a variety of shops and boutiques just around the corner. Continue the fun in downtown Lee Summit at a retro arcade bar. Discover your new beer at one of our 6 locally owned breweries. Cool off with some handcrafted cocktails at happy hour. End the night with live music and good company. Lee Summit, Missouri.
Hello, Lee Summit. Here's your flash briefing for the week of March 4th. City Council will meet for regular session Tuesday night at 6 in Council Chambers and City Hall. If you can't watch, quickly catch up on City Council meetings by subscribing to the Council Debrief newsletter, which breaks down 3 to 4 key agenda items. Subscribe at cityofls.net. Attention drivers, beginning today, March 4th, there are 4 road closures scheduled along sections of Southeast 2nd Street, Northeast Ash Street, Southwest Sampson Road, and Northwest Chipman Road. We appreciate your patience and understanding as we work together to improve our city's roadways and infrastructure. Road closure information and detours can be found at cityofls.net. And be sure to sign up for the city's free alert system, LS Aware. Receive emergency and non-emergency information by text, email, or phone. This is a great thing to use, especially for road closure information. You choose how you want to be notified. Learn how to sign up on the city's website. And this week is Severe Weather Preparedness Week. Everyone is encouraged to participate in a statewide tornado drill Wednesday, March 6th at 11 a.m. It is important to have a plan in case of a severe weather incident such as a tornado. Thanks for listening and have a great week.
I'm Assistant Chief Jim Eden.
And I'm Battalion Chief Ben Hicks.
And today we're at Lee Summit Fire Station 3. Fire Station 3 was part of the 2016 no tax increase general obligation bond for public safety initiatives. The station was built and occupied in August of 2020. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we've not been able to give tours or have an actual ribbon cutting. So we want to invite you in today to give you the opportunity to see what goes on within the Lee Summit Fire Department station.
Let's go take a tour. This is our admin side of the facility. We use this side mainly for offices. We have a lot of work during the day, whether it's training or doing reports or just generally taking care of the shift that we need to do. At this particular station, Station 3, we do have an assistant chief that works out of here. That person has their own office where they need to manage what's going on throughout the day with the shift and staffing, and as well as running calls out of here. The captain has their own office as well. What the captain does is at this specific station is in charge of both the fire truck that's here as well as the ambulance. And so with all those personnel responsibilities as well as running calls and reports, that's where they work out of. And generally for the rest of the crew, which is somewhere around 5 to 6 individuals, we have rooms to write reports, and we have additional training rooms and other rooms where people can work. Walking into our living area, I think it's important to recognize that we work 48-hour shifts. So in the evenings, after 5 o'clock, after work is done, we may have the opportunity to catch a game or something else as long as we're not running calls. And this gives us the opportunity to do that. When we go into our kitchen, I think this gives you a great reason to know why we go to the grocery store. When you see fire trucks at the grocery store, what we're doing. Well, so for 2 days working for 48 hours, we buy all our meals at the grocery store, and then we come in here and cook, just like you guys do at home. So everybody has their own fridge on each shift as well as their own pantry, and then we cook those meals here. Going into the sleeping side of things, we've got a couple different things that are significant. We have our own laundry room, which again is important when we're here for 48 hours. The opportunity to wash and clean our clothes and bedding is very important for hygiene. And walking into where our beds are, we keep the kind of sleeping quarters over on one side of the building. It gives us both easy access out to where our fire apparatus are, as well as kind of keeping it a little bit quieter for those people that have been up all night running calls. We have 11 bedrooms here at this station. And the reason we built it with so many bedrooms is we want to give ourselves as a city the opportunity to expand. So if we need to put another apparatus here or numerous other people working at this station, that's already in place as far as infrastructure goes, and we don't need to go back and try to make it bigger or better. And that's really important for us, especially because the old station was so small. Back out on the apparatus floor, we have doors facilitated as many places as possible, so that way when we're sleeping at night and a call comes out, we can make our way out fairly quickly to get out onto the truck if we need to and run a call. On the other side of the station, we kind of have other stuff that we may want to keep separated if we want to. Physical fitness is very important to us as firefighters. So in order to better ourselves and make sure we're as healthy as we can to do this job, we have our own gym facility here that we kind of go throughout the day when we can and get an opportunity to come in and work out. Our goal when we run calls, when we get back to the station after calls, our goal is to get ready to go back as soon as we can to run another call. So we have the opportunity or capability here to fill up our air tanks. So you see firefighters wear the big air tanks on their backs and they use those in a fire. We can come back and fill those up and make sure that we're ready to go again when we're wanting to go run another call. We have our own workshop here. We work on a lot of our tools and making sure that everything's clean and operational, and this gives us the capability to do that, again, to make sure that we have everything we need and we're as capable as we can be running calls throughout the city. Cancer prevention is very important in the fire service right now. Because of that, we have an extractor machine, and what this does is gives us the capability when we come back from a fire, we can put our bunker gear into this machine and get all that really nasty crud off of our gear. Again, kind of getting back to that cancer prevention mode, allowing us to be as clean as we possibly can for the next call. And finally is our bunker gear room. We each have our own individual locker. This gives us the opportunity to store our gear when we're not here working in between shifts, as well as keep a clean extra set on here in case we do run a fire and we need to clean our current gear. Typically, this is where your day starts off at the fire station. You come in and get your gear and put it on wherever you're working that day, and then you end the same way, bringing your stuff back to your locker to go home after working. This is Med 3. This ambulance just currently moved into the station from Station 7. Station 3, since we've had it built, has turned into one of our busiest stations in the city. Therefore, we wanted to provide the best care in the closest unit as we could. So we moved one of our ambulances up, and this became Med 3 for this particular instance. Out of this station, we also have Pumper 3. And that's a fire apparatus that they utilize to run the calls on this west end of the city. The last vehicle that you see is the chief's vehicle. We have 2 shift chiefs on shift every day, and they split the city. And this chief running out of this station typically covers the west and south area of the city, while our chief at Station 2 covers kind of that northeast section of our city, and they divide it up evenly.
Thank you for going on a tour with us today. If you have any other questions about the Lee Summit Fire Department, please go to our webpage at lsfire.net or follow us on Facebook at Lee Summit Fire Department.
Thanks for joining us on the tour.
This month's Council Member Spotlight is all about Mayor Bill Baird. Check it out.
I have always volunteered in the community and I was always really involved, but then I ran for school board. Whenever I got done with my term, I just felt like I had more to give. It's always been my goal from day one is to get everyone in the community connected and working together, and I always called it a spirit of community. Well, Mayor's 24/7 and I have a job. I've had to work really hard at compartmentalizing, is what I call it. So during this time, I'm going to do work. During this time, I'm going to be mayor, even though I can get a call at any moment about mayor stuff. And so I've had to even work that much harder at setting aside time for myself or for family. So I like to exercise, I like to work out. Hillary's my wife. She actually goes to work out with me as well. And we do like to go downtown to the shops. We make sure we maximize our time together. I mean, I've got 2 kids as well, and we spend a lot of time with them, or whatever time they will give us these days. And I have a dog. I think most people kind of know me know I have to have a dog. We have so much development going on, and we're growing fairly quickly, so we have a lot of infrastructure needs, and sometimes we have gaps in infrastructure, and we've always managed to get by, but with this kind of growth, we're really having to be creative and look at our options and just have a good plan for water, sewer, roads, and more. If we want to grow the most healthy way, we need a diverse economy. We do have a lot of retail that's opened up here, and there's been new construction for retail. We really need to focus in the future on bringing some, well-paying jobs here, good, strong employers that want to be located in this incredible community of now 101,000 people. A lot of our workforce does commute to work still, so they leave Lee Summit to go to work, and it'd be nice if we could keep some of those citizens right here in our community. The times I feel most proud are actually when I'm in the community and I see the community come together.
We have Buddy in the house. Mr. Mayor.
The tree lighting is always very fun. I always feel very proud. It's just a great warm feeling. The same thing goes for when the council will do something and we come together and make a good decision together. There's been a few of those that you go home feeling like a winner. And one of them was when we put together the downtown farmers market, when we bought the land, and it became real, all that hard work. But also the Diversity and Inclusion Commission, that was months and months of discussions and conversations that were really hard to have, and we went ahead and moved forward and as a council all together, and I was very, very proud of that. And there are a few things that the citizens have done that have really helped us tremendously. First, in the middle of a pandemic, they passed a use tax, which is a way for us to collect sales tax whenever someone purchases online. That helps shore up our revenues so that we can continue to provide as high quality services that our city provides. And it helps us take care of our employees, it helps us with our public safety and more. So I can't be more thankful to the citizens for that. Lee Summit has the opportunity to have a major impact on the economy in the Kansas City area. We already, as an economy, are rolling along with such a high median income. We have an amazing workforce here that are paying taxes, they're paying property taxes, they're paying sales taxes, they're keeping our economy rolling, and we really are getting the attention of all our neighbors. And I think that what's going to happen is you're going to see the opportunity for us to really get everybody's attention when businesses start moving here, bigger businesses and more so. You should try to find a way to give back to the community, whether it's at the city level, citizen committees, or just participating in some of our community conversations whenever we have those opportunities. It's worth coming out of your shell or taking that leap of faith and just showing up and saying, what can I do or how can I help? The more that we do this together, the more wonderful the community is.
Thanks for watching the Lee Summit Rundown. I'm Laura Ingeman. See you next time.
Need help with the gavel? All right, I'd like to call to order the March 4th Finance and Budget Committee meeting. Can we get a roll call, please?
Thank you, Vice Chair. Councilmember Hodges.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Here.
Vice Chair Lovell.
Here.
Councilmember Shields is absent. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Look for a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Vice Chair, I move for the approval of the February 16, 2024 Finance and Budget Committee action letter.
Second?
Oh,
No,
I did the wrong
just-
one.
oh,
Just
just the
approval of the
approval of the
agenda.
agenda,
That's what
right.
I'm saying. Yep.
Yeah.
Second. I knew what you meant.
Roll call, please.
Thank you, Chair. Councilmember Hodges.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Aye.
Vice Chair Lovell.
Aye.
Thank you.
Now to public comments. Do we have any public comments?
Chair, we do not have any public comments this evening.
Great. So move on to business. Looking for a motion for the approval of February 16, 2024 Finance and Budget Committee Action Letter 2024-6147.
Vice Chair, I move for the approval of the February 16, 2024 Finance and Budget Committee action letter.
I second.
Oh, roll call, please.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Councilmember Hodges.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Aye.
Vice Chair Lovell.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Guess we'll get right into it. Item 5B, TMP 2932, an ordinance of repealing Bill number 23-059, ordinance number 9632, related to the schedule of fees and charges for the city of Lee Summit, and establishing a new schedule of fees and charges to take effect July 1, 2024 for the city of Lee Summit, Missouri. Gentry?
Thank you, Chair. Rick Gentry, Budget Manager. As part of our ongoing annual budget process, one of the steps in the process is updating the schedule of fees annually, effective July 1st with the in alignment with the budget. Sometimes it is updated throughout the year as there are needs for departments, as their costs change, or as there are additional needs that we need to charge fees or for service. This year's list is actually just a few minor changes to the list, and I'm just going to go through and hit the highlights. And if you have any questions about any of the changes, the experts are in the room. They're with us this afternoon. So starting at the beginning, the airport, they're doing increases, asking for increases in their rental of their spaces, and they're just asking for the increase of the CPI of the 3.4%. And that's the, so I'm going to be going down to the red column, the proposed with the edits, changes. They also added in the basis for the rental of Hangar 2 once it's completed, a basis of 95 cents per square foot. So they're doing it on basis of the coverage of space that we needed to store the aircraft within the facility. In range of that, they made a couple of changes in their other hangar rental fees of changing the helicopters. They were doing that based upon weight. I don't know if they had scales at the airport to weigh those or not, but now they're going to the size of the aircraft or the helicopters as well on charging those fees for rental. And that carries on through in a couple other sections as far as changing the weights to measurements of square or length for the helicopters. And then they're adding some, making some modifications to their jet fuel markups on there. Again, also they're sensitive to the market and their competition around the metro and other airports to make sure they stay competitive as well, but also making sure to cover their cost for providing the service and providing the fuel and fueling the aircraft. They've added some additional annual fees, and those will be the last items listed on the airport section for paragliders and special use permits and business activity processing fees. Any questions about airport fees before we go on to the next section?
Chair.
Go ahead.
So I know we do these each year. There's adjustments that are made to a lot of different departments and the fees we charge. Just to ask, just to, make sure somebody asks the question, are these in line with competitors? I know there's not a whole lot of competition in Kansas City other than downtown and maybe Johnson County.
Yes, they do reach out to the other airports, see what they're charging, and try to be in alignment with that, and because they want to be as competitive as they can be, plus be able to cover their costs and expenses.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
So something that's not on the airport fees that just for awareness to the committee and to the council as well, that one of the items approved recently by the council was the AvFuel contract with AvFuel. That was a new contract for potentially up to 5 years with the city. And out at the airport, they're one of the locations that does not use the city's credit card processing fee. As you'll notice out at Treasury, for example, you'll see there it's the 2.25%. Is that our city? Yeah, our card fee for the city for our processors, 2.25%. AdFuel, their process fee that's out at the airport is 3%. So if constituents reach out that, hey, why are we paying more at that? It's because that goes through a separate processor, and it's within our schedule of fees, which we have it built in, and I think at 3.25%, not to exceed 3.25%. So that's not on the list here, but just for awareness. So moving on down the list. The next one's down in the under animal control. The cost for spaying and neutering pets has gone up for I believe it was the cats has gone up to the same amount as the dog. So they're just asking to increase the adoption rate to be in alignment with the same price as the dog to cover that fee that they have to pay there. And they're also asking because they're, since COVID, people going back to work now, more owners are voluntarily turning in pets that they can no longer care for. I'd like to add a fee for when they return those animals in to help offset the expenses associated with the care of that animal. So they're asking to add that to their schedule of fees. Any questions on that one? So Deputy Bunker's here, Deputy Chief. Okay. Talked about the fuel. The next big group will be under the water utilities, and they have methodology in place, and there'll be a public hearing at the council meeting prior to the approval of the schedule of fees that they're required to do by state law. So you'll get to hear more about the schedule of fees and the water utility, tap fees, and sewer fees at that time. If you have questions, or if you have any questions about the increases. A lot of their increases are just due to operational costs going up, supplies, materials, labor costs are going up, and that's a reflection in the fees and their water and sewer rates. So I believe the gentlemen are here from Water Utilities if you have any questions this evening about that. Thank you very much for your time.
Anybody, any other questions from anyone? I guess, would I be looking for a motion on this to recommend to council? Anybody?
Chair?
Yes.
I move to recommend to City Council approval of agenda item TMP-2932, an ordinance repealing ordinance number 9632 related to the schedule of fees and charges for the City of Lee Summit and establishing a new schedule of fees and charges to take effect July 1st, 2024 for the City of Lee Summit, Missouri.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Vice Chair, Councilmember Hodges.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Aye.
Vice Chair Lovell.
Aye.
Thank you.
And that's all we have for official business. I'll move into roundtable. We've got a lot of time here. Any topics? I did call animal control this week for the first time to remove a dead coyote from Longview Boulevard, a large coyote. Thought that was kind of relevant since we talked about animal control. Well, he was near neighborhood, so if you got a small dog, be careful.
Yeah, we do. I think I saw him.
I guess with nothing else, I guess.
Sorry.
I have one item.
Sorry.
We just thought it'd be prudent to remind you that, and you should have had an email in your inbox about, as we worked through our GO bonds, that Moody's did give us another AAA bond rating. So we just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that.
And is that prior to the bonds being issued, or is that like, okay, gotcha.
It's part of the issuance process that we provide them the data so that they can issue a rating on this particular bond.
And that means when we go out to market, we'll be looked at more favorably, better rates, obviously, all of those good things. Great. Well, that's great news. Thanks for all the hard work to put that together and get the good news.
So are we going to have a report at council?
Will we have a report at council about that then tomorrow, or do you know?
We could have City Manager Dunning mention that in roundtable.
Yeah, that'd be great. We all saw the email. It's great, but yeah, that'd be good. Anything else? So I will adjourn this meeting officially at 5:10 PM.
That's a record.